Y'all really don't know what I had to go through to get this video uploaded yesterday. But damn, already? I got a copyright claim already? I thought only famous YouTubers got that. Already breaking the rules on YouTube. Well, oh well. It was worth it!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
What up, guys? It's your boy Master J15, and today we are back with part 2 of talking about the NBA. Last episode, we talked about the Atlantic Division. This time around, we're going to talk about the Central Division. The Central Division looks really, it's surprisingly kind of, well, no, I thought no. I thought I thought it'd be really top heavy, and it'd be like trash at the bottom. Like I thought Chicago, Milwaukee, not Indiana, Cleveland would be really good, and I thought Indiana and Detroit would just be trash, just at the bottom. But it's not exactly like that. Well, Detroit's terrible, but of course the order it's Milwaukee, it's Cleveland, Indiana, Chicago, then Detroit. So things are looking alright. Like I said, Cleveland, Milwaukee's doing good. Indiana's doing surprisingly good, and the Bulls are just really underachieving. They're one of the most underachieving teams this season, and then the Pistons are just what I thought it was. But yeah, we're gonna go into a little deeper dive on all the teams, and here we go, guys. Let's get it. All right, guys. First off, we're gonna talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Honestly, just like for Boston, I don't really have too much to say about Milwaukee. They are number 3 in the conference, I believe. Um, they're right behind Brooklyn and Boston. They'll probably pass up Brooklyn because of KD's injury. But honestly, I see Milwaukee as I can see them as like how like teams like the Kevin Durant Warriors or like the LeBron Miami Heat, meaning like they kind of don't care where they see because they know they're really good. I think they know and they feel that they could just go into any arena, either whether it's at home or on the road, and they could win. And I believe that too because Giannis is the best player in the world right now. Sorry, Jokic. Sorry, LeBron. But yeah, I think Giannis is the best. I firmly believe if Middleton was there last season, the Bucks not only would have beat they would have beat Boston, they would have beat Miami, and they would have beat Golden State. I believe that truly, and they would have won their second straight. But they're just waiting for the playoffs. They're playing great so far. They'll probably get close to about 55 wins, if not maybe like a game or two under. They could get a game or two under. They could catch fire like they did last season. Remember last season they had people out due to injuries and COVID, and then they caught fire and they ended up being like the 3rd seed. So something like that can happen. So if I'm Boston or Brooklyn, watch out because the Bucks can't catch fire. But that's all I gotta say about them. They're just waiting for the playoffs, and that's when I'll really get more into assessing them once the playoffs get around. So yeah, that is the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, guys. Next up to talk about is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, excuse me. When coming to the season, the one thing I thought about the Cavs were I knew they'd be good because they got Mitchell. He was definitely an upgrade from Colin Sexton, and I knew they'd be good because you got Mitchell and then you got Garland. Garland really played well last season, especially with Sexton, Colin Sexton getting hurt, and he really just coming into his own because Colin Sexton is really just nothing but like he's just a scorer. Really, he doesn't really do anything else. He runs like a 6-man type of player. But anyway, I knew they'd be good. Like I said, Mitchell is an upgrade. He is a star player, superstar player, depending on who you ask. Um, yeah. I just knew they'd be good. And then they still got Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, I think who just came back from his ACL injury. Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. They have a really solid team. So for where they are right now, I'm not surprised. I've seen them play this year. They look really, really good. Darius Garland is one of the better facilitators and scorers in the league. Donovan Mitchell is a lethal scorer as usual. I mean, the 71-point game he had like what week and a half ago. That just tells you how good he is. But to me, we again, I'll just have to see them how I just have to see them in the playoffs. like despite them being good, I still think that Boston, Milwaukee, even Philly, even though they're above Philly, there's probably another team in there that I'm missing. I still think that those four teams are better um, than Cleveland. It's one of those things where they just have to show me what they can do in the playoffs, and they're gonna be all about proving people wrong. And if they prove me wrong, I'll be happy because Mitchell, out of all the things he's went through in Utah, I mean, some of it is his fault. I want to see him get playoff success. I want to see him win a ring. Garland, he's come a long way, and just Cleveland overall, like they said, since LeBron is not there, they just play terrible. So this is the first season where it legit looks like not only they're good, but they look like they keep like win a championship. So let's see where this goes for them. And yeah, I'm really excited how the second half of the season goes for them. So let's get it. All right, let's talk about all things Indiana Pacers. Now, the Pacers, right? So I thought the Pacers was going to be the one of the worst teams in the NBA just because they traded everybody and then they literally only got like one person back, which was Tyrese Halliburton. I'm not calling him trash. I just thought it was like I was just like clearly the Pacers are trying to like rebuild and like possibly even tank because they traded everybody. Sabonis gone. They traded Sabonis. Brogdon was gone. He went to Boston. Miles Turner is still there. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I don't know. He's still here. I don't know. This Karis LeVert, he was on the Pacers. They let him go. But it's just weird. Like the Pacers, like the last like 10 years, it seems like every time a big star player gets hurt or the Pacers just want to rebuild, as soon as they get rid of those players, the Pacers they just somehow remain good. But back in like 2011 or 2012 when they were basically done with Danny Granger, Paul George took over and they got to the East Finals. Paul George breaks his leg like a couple years later. He comes back. The Pacers are mid, but he comes back. He's basically better than he was before the injury, and he leads the Pacers to the playoffs. And they played the Cavaliers tough, I think, in like 2017 season. And then they trade him off to the Thunder. Victor Oladipo become the star player. They played really good, and then unfortunately he tears his Achilles, but he still came back and played well. Then they got rid of him, and now we were in the Sabonis era, and then he gets hurt, and then they just trade him off, and then they just had that one season. I believe it was last year where everybody just got injured, so they just started to trade everybody else. But this season, I was like, man, they're gonna be trash. They're gonna be one of the worst teams. I was like, I don't even think they're gonna reach 20 wins this year because they were pretty bad last year. But I think you could put that to injuries. I still don't think they made the playoffs even with those guys there. But surprisingly, they have been playing really, really good. Tyrese Halliburton has become probably the best playmaker in the NBA. Of course, you still got LeBron, Jokic, Luka Doncic, Chris Paul, but Tyrese Halliburton, he has been playing some really good basketball. And then you also got the other brother on there. I forget his name, but he's a rookie and he's been playing really good too. And he's been up there for rookie of the year. I believe he's probably like second or the third best rookie this year. So the Pacers really got something good going on. And I don't know. I don't even know why I'm so surprised. Like I was like, man, they're gonna be terrible, but they're good so far. Like they could win like 45 to even 50 games. Like if they catch fire, they can get to 50 wins and really surprise some teams. But I don't think that'll happen. I think they are a first round exit. But this season is a really good stepping stone for the Pacers. So I'm happy for them. Happy they're doing good, and let's just hope they can keep this up and get themselves to at least 41 wins and maybe even more, 45. So yeah, Pacers are doing great. So keep it up, guys. All right, this is going to pain me. It's time to talk about the Chicago Bulls. And see, the Bulls, they have a very soft spot in my heart because the Bulls are the reason why I even got into basketball. When I started watching basketball, I was like 8, 9 years old. Back when, they had like D Rose, Noah. I remember Ben Wallace. He was on the team, but then later on they got like Carlos Boozer, Lou Alden. Well, Lou Alden was on the team. Kirk Heinrich. Like they just had they just had a solid team, and the Bulls were the first team I watched primarily because I used to live in Chicago. But anyway, the Bulls this season are really underachieving. Now they have injuries again this year, but it's not nearly as bad as last year because it just like last year their entire team was injured. Like of course we haven't seen Lonzo Ball in over a year or almost a year. Zach LaVine, he always had like knee injuries. Not as bad as this year, but last year he had like a lot of problems. DeMar DeRozan was out here and there with injuries. Nikola Vucevic, I believe, played through an injury that required surgery, and he put it off. He put the surgery off to, I believe, the off season, which is crazy. Um, Alex Caruso's been injured. Um, it's just they just have a they and the thing is about the Bulls is that they got a lot of pieces. Like I said, outside of it, they got Patrick Williams, Kobe White. I believe his name was Ayo Desamu. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, but I believe that's his name. And then they signed Goran Dragic, Andre Drummond. Like they have a pretty good team, and with the way how DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine is playing, I believe that's a championship level team. And Vucevic is one of the better big guys in the league. I think they're one of the better big guys in the league. And as I said, Lonzo Ball's been injured. He's one of the better playmakers in the league. So they have it. They have a formula for a championship level team. It's been injuries and then just underachieving. You can't blame all injuries. They just have not been playing good this year. And that's why I believe they're 20-24 right now or something like that. They're not over 500, so they've been playing bad. So, they're in the play-in, I believe, right now. So, so it's not all bad. If it was really bad, they would be like way worse, not in the play-in. So, like I said, the Bulls got the talent to really put it together and make a good second half of the season run. I want to see this team get to at least 45 wins. Like I believe they had 45 wins last season, like something around that. But like I said, you could blame a lot of last season due to injury, because they played well last season. They just had injuries, and injuries were the reason why they lost a lot more games. Because last year they were like the first half of the season, like were really relatively close around this time last year. So, but you could blame injuries for the reason why they couldn't really win any more than 50 games last year. So, like I said, I want to see this team really play better because injuries is not as bad as this year. They just not playing as good. Yeah, LaVine has missed some games, especially at the beginning of the season, but he's been here most of the season. So they gotta play good. They gotta play better. I want to see them play better because, like I said, I'm a Bulls fan, so I really want to see them play better. And then try to get themselves within that top 6. It's really doable. It's doable, but if they don't, I still think they will get into the playoffs via the play-in. But if they do that, they'll probably be up for that first round exit, especially if they face like Boston or Milwaukee. So even Brooklyn. So yeah, please Chicago, just get healthy. I want to see Lonzo Ball back, and I want to see everybody just play together. If they can do that, they'll be fine. But it also could be a situation where, like you said, they got Kobe White and other guys. So maybe it's just a situation where maybe if they just trade some guys away, then they can get some structure, because maybe there's just guys in that team that just feel they could just do well without DeRozan and LaVine. So I don't know. But I want to see them get healthy and then just play good. And if they can, they'll be fine. So yes, please make it happen, Chicago. All right, guys, and last but not least, we have the team that is last in the division. We have the Detroit Pistons. When it comes to the Pistons, like I said, I knew they would be pretty bad this year. I wanted to see them make progress. Like I did last year, they only won like 20 games. So if they got to 25, close to 30 wins, that'd be progress. And honestly, like I said, they got a good team. They drafted Jaden Ivory in the draft. You got Kay Cunningham. You got Bojan Bogdanovic that they got from the Jazz via a trade. Guys like Malvin Bagley, I believe, is on that team. Oh, there's what is the center's name on that team? Undersized center. Did he get into a fight with like LeBron, like a season ago? I think last season. what is his name? I don't know. Somebody would tell me. They got him. He's really excellent. And then of course, Cade Cunningham. If I didn't mention him. Now with Cade, he's out for the season. I believe he tore his ACL. That was probably like a while ago. That's probably like a month, at least a month ago when that happened. So now Detroit is really in it. Now from what I'm hearing is that, and from what I could see, they're probably just deep in the tank for Wabanobi, whatever the guy's name that everybody's been talking about. That he's going to be drafted. He's like he has like that LSK type of build, like super tall, athletic, and he can do everything. So everybody wants him. But for the Pistons, I think it's just all about just trying to see what you got in Jaden Ivory and the rest of those guys, and then if let's say they do get that kid. You got him, you got Ivory and Cunningham. That's it's not a big three, but that's three guys right there that can help you build towards the future and really build a championship team. So I want to see Detroit really be competitive again, really be one of the best teams because they haven't been like one of those teams where it's like, oh yeah, like watch out for Detroit, like they can really do something this year. We haven't seen that from Detroit since like it's 2023. We haven't seen that in like 15, 20 years. So they just been like they just been really bad. They've just been bad. They had a few average seasons, and they had like a season that they actually played like decent. But let's really see them. Let's see what they can do. And also, they need to trade Bogdan Bogdanovic. I think he can be on the contender. Just a team that really need that extra piece to push them over. Like for example, maybe Cleveland, as I just talked about, or Brooklyn. Like I think there's a few teams that are good right now, but if they had that extra piece, I think that could push them to the championship level. So see if they can trade for him, because I thought trading him to Detroit was just weird anyway. I thought they should have just had traded him to just a contender in the first place. But if Detroit feel they could use him to maybe, if he's a part of the plan to get into that championship level, or he's just there just for his contract or whatever. But hey, I don't know. But yeah, let's see what the Pistons can do in the future. This season is already pretty much a wash. They're not going to be good. They can still possibly get to 25 wins. They would have to play really good. I think they would have to play even to get to around 30 wins. So I don't think that'll happen. So, but we'll just see what they can do in the future. So, yeah, that's the Pistons. All right, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is part 2 of 6 about talking about the NBA. The next division is going to be the Southeast Division, aka the division that's been disappointing. Well, the Pacific's been pretty disappointing too. But anyway, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Part 3 is probably gonna come tomorrow, only because I have something to do today. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow, likely tomorrow. All right, peace.
Many men